Hello everyone, welcome to Prakash IT. In this video, we are going to learn about how to work with HTML form while working with the Spring MVC. Okay, so how to work with the HTML form we are going to see. Okay, so I have created the folder structure to save some time. So this is the folder that is MVC working with HTML form. Okay, so here the agenda here is like to work with the HTML form. Okay, so how we can work with that. So and then in this application I will show you how to work with the request param. Okay, so whenever the user sends the request, then how that we can capture by using the request param, that we are going to see as well. Okay, so from I have already in the our first application, then I have shown you like how to work the XML, and this is the annotation approach. So most of the scenario like nowadays, like most of the developer are you preferring to work with the annotation approach. So we will practice more on the annotation approach. So we are I'm going to delete it web.xml. So since we are going to work with the annotation approach, right? To configuration of the servlet and the dispatcher servlet, all these stuffs, the URL mapping, all these stuffs, we are going to work with the annotation approach. Okay, so for that I have created the package called configure controller. In this controller we will write our controller, and in this configuration all the configuration we will have. Okay, so we have already developed the config, what are the config that is required to configure the dispatcher servlet and the beans, right? The bean configuration. So as part of the last class, right? So what I can do, I can go to that class. Instead of writing, it will take some time. We have already developed and we have already seen this all these things, right? So what I can do, I can simply copy, and here I can paste, right? Okay, so let me show you the POM. We have added the servlet API and the Spring Web MVC and JDK 17. Okay, this is no need to show you again. And as part of this config, we have the web application initializer. It will work same as web.xml. Here we have done this is iNet banking is the user, like the URL pattern. So what we are going to do, we are going to change. Okay, so today we are going to develop an application that is uh, the user registration. How we will take the input from the user and we will register that user. We will not interact with the database for the time being. What we will do, we will only understand how to work with the HTML form. HTML form in the sense we will take the JSP views, and on that we will work on that. Okay, so what my intention here is to register the user. So we will take this is the user. Whoever the client will send the request the user, and after that anything, then our servlet is going to respond for that. The servlet means the dispatcher server, the front controller is going to respond for that, and then onwards, then it will send the request to the appropriate controller. Okay, so that is my intention here. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do, since JSP, the HTML tags are not activated in the while using the IntelliJ IDEA, so I will take the view name as HTML, then I will refactor the name into JSP. Okay, in order to work with the form and all, I need to write, right? So let me delete the index.jsp. Here what I will take, so first we'll write the form uh, which we will develop to take the input from the user. Okay, so this is user hyphen form. Okay, this is the user form. We'll take the input from the uh, user, right? So what I will do, I will write user. We'll take just simple use case. Only two three fields will take, and that will demonstrate. Okay, to understand how to work with the user, and going forward at the end, our style of teaching, right? So at the end, we are going to see full-fledged end-to-end project. Okay, so no need to worry. So this is the username. Username is equals to, so okay, before that let me try to open the form. Okay, okay, let me write the form action is equals to register user. Okay, register user, this is the register user is our URL. The register user is going to be our URL, and here the method we are going to use as post. Okay, this is the post method we are going to write, and I will quote this form tag and I will paste after that. Okay, and inside the form, whenever the user submit, the URL will be register user and method will be post, and inside the form, what are the fields we are going to take from the user. So what we will take, we will take two simple two property. Okay, the input type is equals to text, and name is equals to username, user name. Okay, this is the things, and br here I will take to line break, and username I have taken already, and then and email I will take, and input type equals to text. I am not writing the all the pro code, UI pro code, because we have to understand the what is the context here. Okay, so whoever know the alignment and all the colors, fonts, all these things, he can do all these things, or bootstrap he can also use the UI technology, right? What my intention, I just wanted to show the how to work with the HTML form. Okay, so all those all those cinematic things you can do by yourself. Okay, so input type text, and name is equals to email. This is the things, and here br I will take. Okay, then we'll submit the form. We'll take two fields and we'll try to submit this form. Input type equals to submit, and value is equals to register. Okay, so this is the things what I am taking, like I am taking from the user the username and email to from the user, and that two field, that username and email, I am trying to register. Okay, here as I have said, we are not going to work with the database. Simple, we'll show all these property by the help of the view layer, right? Okay, and that is fine. So that is done. Let me change into, this is the JSP. Okay, the JSP file. Fine. Now, once the user sends submit the form, then the request will go to what? The servlet, right? The servlet we have configured into the servlet, and from here the servlet dispatcher servlet will dispatch the request to the appropriate controller. So for that, I am going to write one controller, that is controller class uh, register user controller. Register user controller. Okay, so this is the controller, and to act as to make this class as a controller, we have to annotate as controller. Okay, then only this class will be will act as a controller class, right? So we are going to write one method, public string, then register. Register is the method. Register is the method. Okay, this is the method we have to write, but the condition here is like the thing is that whenever the user fires like user, then user slash something, then the user form will open, right? In case of Spring MVC, what we are going to do here is like whenever the client will go, we are going to fire the URL user slash user slash something, some another some URL, for example user slash home, then this form should open, right? Okay, so for that, what I'm going to write, I'm going to write this method is will write for the registration purpose. Okay, to handle the first request, what we are going to write, public string, so registration page. registration page. Okay, so registration page is the method. It is going to handle the user slash and this show registration page will respond for the particular URL. So for that we are going to write a request mapping, and we are going to provide the value like the URL, that is slash user and slash homepage. Okay, what we have done, we have taken the show registration form here. We are giving that whenever the request comes from slash user slash home, we have taken the URL as home. Then it should open this page. This page means the user form. Okay, and after this one we are going to return how from this page it will redirect to user hyphen form dot JSP. So here we will provide that user hyphen form as the logical view name. Okay, so what my intention here is, like whenever the request will come, then from this user slash home, it should land into this user form. So in order to do that, we will return the logical view name. Logical view name is the user hyphen form. Okay, once we configure this one, so on this request, so this will landed into the user form. So user form is nothing but this page will be opened. Okay, so let me here I forgot one thing to write. Here we can write some h1 tag user registration form. Okay, h1. Okay, we are closing this one. Okay, so user registration form and all these things it will show. Okay, fine. So we have written the first method. So on submit up, once this is open on after the first request, user slash home, then after the it will show the form, right? Once the user submit the username and the email and click on the register button, it should redirect to the controller, the method with the URL slash register user. Okay, so in order to do that, we will configure this method as request mapping, and here we will provide value as slash register mapping register user comma method equals to request method. I think request method dot post. Since we are firing the post method, so we have to configure this is the post method. Okay, so once the request comes to this method, so what it will do, it will register the user. In order to do that, what we are going to do here is, like, we are going to save return some will register the here we are not involving any DBA kind of activity. So what we'll do, whatever the request is in submitting the details, that request will show in a particular JSP page, and we'll confirm there that the user registration is successful. Okay, so how we can achieve that? So this is a kind of servlet, right? So in order to request uh, in order to handle the request from the user, so what we are going to write in case of servlet, what we are writing string, for example, the some name, equal to how request dot get parameter, right? A get parameter, this is the stuffs we are going to write, isn't it? So how we can do that? We will write HTTP servlet request, and from that request dot get parameter. By using that, we can get the data, right? But since we are working with the Spring MVC, we are going to use a special annotation, that is request parameter. What it will do, whenever this is the request param, this is the annotation we are going to use whenever the user sends the whenever the user sends the uh, submit the form, whatever the data user has submitted. To bind that, we are going to write the request parameter. What it will do, it will get the data from the user request param. The name itself is telling that this is a request param. It will get that and it will bind to the particular variable what we are going to write. Okay, here we are going to specify the first name is user name. The name should match. Okay, and here anything you can take. So the same I am taking also, but this variable name can be different. And this okay, this should be outside. Okay, this is done. And with the variable we should define, this is the username. It is of what kind? This is a string type. Okay, so I am going to display string username. Okay, this is the request param and we have captured by using the username. Okay, okay, fine. Once that is done, another thing is there, like that is email. That also we need to capture. We will use request param, and same thing we are going to do here. We will specify email, and I'll go to the outside and I will write string email. Okay, email, same thing I'm going to write. Okay, this is the things we should write in order to handle. Okay, so we got the whatever the user submitted data, that is username and email, that we got. And in order to show this data into one particular page, what we are going to write, we will bind to the model attribute. Here we are going to write one more parameter, that is model. So no need to worry, I will explain this model going forward. Just remember that this is a model. This is a model means this is a map kind of. Okay, this is a map kind of, like java.util.map. This is same kind of things. It is, you can consider this is a map. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to put into the model whatever the data we are capturing from the user, that we are going to put, and we are going to show into one page. In the page is register success, register hyphen success. Okay, this is the page logical name I have given. And this page I'm going to write inside the view page. So here I'll go to this one and I'm going to write the file register.jsp. Okay, this is the things I'm going to write. And before that, before sending to register the success, I need to bind all these into the model. Okay, so what I am going to write, I'm going to write model dot set attribute, or add attribute. Okay, add attribute. And what is the things we are going to add? Username. This is the key, and value is equals to username. Whatever the username we got from here, from the request, that we are going to add into the model attribute, and that we are going to send here. These things we have done, and another things also there, that is nothing but the email. That is also we are going to put into this model. Okay, okay, so username we have already added into the model, and this is the things we have added. So what we are returning from this controller, once the register with this URL, it got the request from the user. It will trying We are trying to get the request data, and what after getting the request data, we are trying to add into the model attribute, and that we are trying to send into the JSP page. We will show to the client or user. Okay, so if I go to the register user, here what I'm going to write, I'm going to write simple HTML, then body. So this is not activated, that is why I'm always writing this HTML, then I'm trying to convert into the JSP, right? HTML, we can close, and inside that we'll simply write h1 and user registration successful. Okay, this is the message we are just we're trying to write. And what we will write, we will capture the data. So here in the controller, what we are doing, we are adding into the model, that we are trying to capture in the success page. Who is the username is equals to, username is like we can make use of the dollar, then, and this is the things, and user name. This is the things, and I can add this one. This is the email. Email is, and username is, okay, I can write, and this is the email. Okay, so whatever the model attribute we are adding, that we are trying to capture, and we are displaying the registration successful. So instead of this page, we can show up the success message, user registration successful, and in the controller, what we are adding here, here also we can save the whatever the data user sending, that we can save into the database. That part we are not doing here as of now. Okay, I hope all these steps are completed. So we need to deploy our application, right? This one is user and the first one is home. Okay, let me deploy the application into the Tomcat server. Okay, let me cancel. Okay, run Tomcat. Okay, so MVC working with HTML form, then apply, then run. And the URL will be user/home. Wait till the application has been deployed. Okay, the application has been deployed into the server. So what we are going to do, we are going to do this one, and the URL is user/home. Then it will redirect to the user form.jsp into that one. Okay, user registration form. Okay, as I expected, it is working. So this alignment you can do. Okay, I'm just focusing into the concept. I'm not doing the alignment and all these things. I'm not focusing right now. Okay, so username is like I can write Smith is the username, and email address is Smith at the rate gmail.com. Okay, this is the two field we are going to register. If once I click the register, you can see a register user is called. Okay, register user, and user registration is successful. Username is Smith and email is smith@gmail.com. That means our HTML form submission is successful. Okay, we are successfully worked our first application, how to work with the HTML forms with the help of Spring MVC. Okay, this is the first step I just introduced, right? There are many more things will come into the picture. Okay, that we are going to see as part of our next video. Okay, so that's all for this video. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.